My name's Barbie the Welder, and I'm a full-time metal sculptor. I have, as an artist, as a human being, and as a business, gone through a lot of stages from the beginning to the point I am at now. And I'm going to share with you how I've gone from basically being on welfare and government subsidized housing to being a world-renowned metal sculptor. It's still way weird for me, but it is what it is. So I've sold art to clients in 10 different countries at this point. Absolutely mind-blowing to me, but I've gotten to that point by growing as a human being, as an artist, as a business. And the way that I've done that is what I'm going to lovingly refer to as death ground. It's a war term or a terminology that people use like in war situation. What it means is if you are in a battle and you are on an island and you are battling people, you burn the boats. Like there is no opportunity for you to retreat. It's success or death. And I have used that as a business model. It started out when I was ready, and I wasn't ready, but when I left my job, I did leave on very good terms, but I put myself on death ground. Instead of going, hey, I can continue being a part-time artist and a full-time fabricator at this beautiful company that is very secure and very stable, and I know I'm getting a paycheck, I put myself on death ground. I quit my job, and I didn't give myself a way out. Like, yes, I could have gone back, but, if things didn't work out, but I didn't. There was no plan B for me. It was success or death. It was survive as an artist or, or nothing. And so through massive hard work and lots of sacrifice, like I said, going from a financial greatly stable is a greatly stable position financially. I made $35 in the first 9 months of being a full-time artist. Ramen noodles is not my favorite meal, but you can survive on them. So I put myself on death ground with that, and eventually it did work out, but it was very scary along the way. But because I didn't give myself a plan B, I had to figure out, no matter what, how to survive. So from that first stage, and I was making these great little pieces like this, and I was just hot gluing stuff together. Very simple dragonfly. And some people think it's an airplane. It's whatever you want it to be. It's $35. From mass producing pieces like that, my hot dog hookers, mass producing pieces like that, and started doing shows and events where I would set up and I would, hopefully sell my art. More times than not, I did not. But I started growing where I was going to these shows every weekend. And it was, 3 to 4 days most of the time on the weekend, where Thursday through Sunday that I was setting up and selling at these shows, traveling to them. I built that up to last year, where I was, 48 shows in 52 weeks across 8 different states. I welded in 7 different states last year. It was phenomenal as far as for growing my business and getting my name out there, for getting people to pick up and physically pick up my art and see what it looks like. It's a lot nicer for people to see it in person versus through my pictures, which may or may not be okay. But I'm learning. But so, the last couple years I've been doing these shows. The problem with that is, and it was beautiful, I just met the most incredible people, and I got to travel, and I love to travel, and really just enjoyed myself traveling. But the problem is, my business was growing, I was feeding my belly, but I wasn't feeding my soul. So again, it was time to put myself on death ground, because I just didn't feel like I was making that, the growth in my ability to create art that I wanted to, because the ultimate goal, yes, eating is great, but my ultimate goal has always been, from way back, has been to create art. So time to put myself back on death ground. So at the end of last year, like I'd been in a couple of shows and just was like sitting at the shows, not creating art, and just feeling frustrated because like maybe someone showed up and bought stuff, maybe they didn't. It was a crapshoot. So I told myself, this is it. As of the end of last year, as the end of 2016, no more shows. Like I picked 3 shows that I was like, these are my favorite shows. I really enjoyed them. Yes, I made money at a couple of them, but one was just total, just a heart show that just fed my soul. And so I did it. I shut down going to the shows, and I wanted to be in the shop more, creating my art. So I went and I did it. It was, the first 3 months were awful. I didn't make any money because, I had like a little bit here and there. What I had done is, instead of going to the events, I built up my online. I built up my social media, and I started building up my inventory in Etsy, which is where this entire year, this is 2017, this entire year, I have made my living off of selling art through Etsy, which is that's been a huge blessing. That's where the clients in the other countries have come in, where they have seen my stuff through the social media, and it's available through Etsy. I've had people contact me through there and ask me to build them custom stuff. It's been brilliant, and I've really, really enjoyed it. But in order to make that living through the Etsy, it goes back to, I have been mass producing pieces like this, which are really fun. But if I told you how many I can make these in an hour, the mass production is just, it doesn't feed my soul. Like again, I'm feeding my belly. No more ramen noodle dinners. That's beautiful. And I do eat them every now and then. I can't even tell a lie. I do like them. But, mass producing the hot dog cookers, I can crank out so many of them. And it is feeding my belly, but it's not feeding my soul. So as an artist, as a human being, again, as a business, I need to push myself. I need to grow, and it's back to death ground with me, because that's where the growth comes in. Like that's where I thrive. And it's just, I don't know if everyone's like that. I can only speak for myself, but dang, like I thrive on death ground. I am forced success or death. So I have made a decision here end of November 2017. As of the first of the year, there is no more mass-produced stuff for me ever again. Success or death. I am only doing one-of-a-kind pieces. This feeds my soul. This is 100%, like there's nothing else like this in the whole world, nor will there ever be. And I can try like myself to build another one, and I guarantee you, I can't. Like even wanting to and even trying to, the same materials, it's gonna come out different. Same thing. One of a kind, nothing else like it in the world, feeds my soul. Yes, I might go hungry for a little bit because of this huge transition. I've made, like I said, a bulk of my income has been from these mass-produced pieces. But it's not where I want to be as an artist. I want that one-of-a-kind stuff where I have to push my skills every project, not just every now and then. So transitioning again, like from the mass-produced stuff to the one-of-a-kind stuff, it's going to be scary. It is going to be a huge challenge, but it is going to force me to, think outside of the box. It's going to force me to just think differently. It's going to force me to figure out how can I market these different, or how can I it's just going to push me as a human being. So I am going to encourage you to do the same thing for yourself, whether you're a human being, whether you're an artist, whether you're in a business, an entrepreneur. Put yourself on death ground. Force yourself to grow. Like challenge yourself to go and do something that is just outside of your normal. It is going to make you feel like it is scary, and if you're not scared in what you're doing, you need that fear to propel you forward. Back in the day, like with people like rubbing sticks together for fire, like that fear like that they had from just different stuff is how they grew and how they changed and how they adapted. And we need that as human beings. We don't get that enough in our 9-to-5 day-to-day. We need to put ourselves on that death ground so that we can grow. So I wish you guys the absolute best of luck. I know that I need to get my buns back to work so I can go figure out how to make this work for me, because I know it's going to make my heart so happy. Hope you guys do something today that's going to make your tomorrow better. Love you guys.